Good times create weak people. Let me hit you with a truth that most people shy away from. Comfort kills growth. When life is easy, when everything feels safe and predictable, something dangerous happens. You get weak, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Good times don't build warriors. They create complacency. They breed excuses. They soften the edge of ambition. Think about history. Every empire, every breakthrough, every legend was forged in struggle, in adversity, in the fire of challenge. The greats don't emerge when everything is perfect. They rise when the odds are stacked against them. Because it's pain, discomfort, and hardship that demand we grow, adapt, and evolve. Good times lull us into comfort zones where our dreams shrink, our effort fades, and our hunger dies. Now, I'm not saying to seek pain for pain's sake, but you must understand this. If you want strength, if you want power, if you want a life of true fulfillment, you've got to embrace challenge. You've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. The moments that feel hard, those are the moments you build character, resilience, and unstoppable momentum. Here's the brutal truth. When life feels easy, you become easy. Easy to distract, easy to quit, easy to settle. And settling is the enemy of greatness. You can't achieve extraordinary results without extraordinary effort. And extraordinary effort is born when you're pushed beyond your limits, when you're forced to tap into reserves you didn't know you had. That's when you find your true strength. Every champion, every leader, every innovator has one thing in common. They faced adversity and refused to back down. They didn't wait for perfect conditions or easy paths. They thrived in chaos, in uncertainty, in hard times. Because good times don't make heroes, hard times do. So if you're going through tough moments right now, don't run from them. Don't complain. Don't wish for easier days. Instead, say thank you. Because these are the days that build you. These are the days that separate the weak from the strong. These are the days that define your legacy. The world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards courage. It rewards grit. It rewards those who show up and do the work when no one's watching, when it's not easy, when it hurts. That's what builds strength. That's what builds greatness. So embrace the struggle, chase the challenge, push yourself beyond the limits of comfort, because if you want to be strong, you have to stop running from hard times and start running through them. Good times create weak people, but hard times create legends. And it's time for you to become one. When life gets comfortable, it becomes dangerously easy to lose the edge that once drove you. You stop pushing. You stop growing. And that's when the slow decay begins. Comfort, while it feels good in the moment, is the silent killer of ambition, strength, and purpose. When things are easy, you no longer feel urgency. You don't feel the need to fight, to dig deep, to stretch beyond your limits. Instead, you settle. You lower your standards without even realizing it, and before you know it, you're coasting, living on autopilot, doing just enough to get by, but nowhere near what you're capable of. The problem is that comfort gives the illusion of success. It tells you you're doing fine. It whispers, you've earned this. Take it easy. You don't need to push anymore. But the moment you buy into that, you start slipping. Growth doesn't happen when everything is going right. It happens when you're challenged, tested, and uncomfortable. The gym doesn't build muscle without resistance. The same applies to life. You can't build a strong mind or an unshakable will in the absence of pressure. It's the struggle that forces you to evolve. Comfort numbs that instinct. Many people believe that the goal is to reach a point in life where things are smooth and stable. But the truth is, staying in that place too long is dangerous. Because ease makes you forget what it took to get there. You lose the hunger that helped you rise. The discipline that sharpened your focus begins to fade. You stop innovating, stop grinding, stop stretching. Your inner fire dims. It's not because you lost your potential, it's because comfort allowed complacency to creep in. If you look at high performers, at people who continue to grow decade after decade, you'll notice something. They don't stay comfortable for long. They constantly challenge themselves, raise the bar, and seek out environments that push them beyond what they know. They understand that staying sharp requires discomfort. It requires effort, risk, and embracing uncertainty. That's how they keep evolving. That's how they stay ahead. So if you're in a season where things feel good, take a step back and ask yourself, am I growing or am I coasting? Am I pursuing challenges or avoiding them because I don't have to? Because if you're not growing, you're shrinking. There is no neutral in life, and if you let comfort lull you to sleep, you'll wake up one day wondering where your drive went. The antidote to weakness isn't more ease, it's more intention. It's stepping into discomfort by choice. It's finding ways to stretch your limits even when you don't have to. That's how you stay strong. That's how you stay hungry. That's how you make sure comfort doesn't steal your greatness. Adversity is life's greatest teacher, and often its most misunderstood gift. Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid pain, discomfort, and challenge. But the very things they run from are what shape them into who they're meant to be. Strength isn't built in moments of ease. It's forged in the fire of struggle. When you're faced with difficulty, when everything in you wants to give up, and you push through anyway, that's when your real power begins to emerge. You don't find out who you are when things are going well. You find out who you are when the pressure is on and quitting looks like the easy way out. Adversity forces you to develop qualities you didn't even know you had. It pulls potential from you that would otherwise stay dormant. It demands growth. You can read books, attend seminars, and listen to motivational talks all day long. But nothing will teach you like getting knocked down and finding the strength to get back up. The experience of hardship teaches resilience in a way theory never can. You learn how to problem solve under pressure, how to stay calm in chaos, and how to dig deeper when your tank feels empty. These aren't just traits, they're weapons for life, and you only earn them through adversity. One of the most powerful things about adversity is that it strips away the noise. It reveals what really matters. It humbles you. It shows you your weaknesses and forces you to address them. It reveals who your real friends are, what you're really made of, and what you're willing to fight for. That level of self-awareness is priceless. And you don't get it when life is easy. When everything is comfortable, it's easy to fool yourself. But when life punches you in the face, all the illusions disappear. What's left is the raw, unfiltered truth. And from there, you can rebuild something unshakable. The people we admire most in this world didn't become great because everything went smoothly. They became great because they endured setbacks, heartbreaks, failures, and losses, and they chose to rise anyway. They didn't let adversity define them. They used it to refine them. That choice right there is the difference between staying average and becoming unstoppable. Everyone faces adversity. It's what you do with it that matters. The more challenges you face and overcome, the more confidence you build in yourself. You begin to understand that you can survive anything, that no matter what life throws at you, you have the capacity to adapt, to grow, to win. And with that realization comes freedom, because fear loses its grip on you. You stop being afraid of failure because you know even if you fall, you'll rise again, stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. So the next time adversity knocks on your door, don't run from it. Don't wish away. Lean into it. Learn from it. Let it sharpen you. Because adversity doesn't break strong people. It builds them. And it's in those hard, messy, uncertain moments that your greatness is born. Struggle is not something to be feared or avoided. It's the proving ground where greatness is forged. If you study the life of anyone who has ever achieved something truly meaningful, you'll find a consistent pattern. They didn't rise in times of ease. They were shaped in the crucible of difficulty. Struggle pushes you beyond your comfort zone, forces you to tap into a deeper level of resilience, and demands a level of focus and effort that ordinary conditions simply do not require. When everything is falling apart or stacked against you, and you choose to fight instead of fold, that's when you become someone different, someone more capable, more courageous, more powerful. Most people avoid struggle because they associate it with suffering. But the truth is, struggle is growth in motion. It's the pressure that turns coal into diamond, that takes raw potential and sculpts it into mastery. When you're struggling, you're not failing. You're evolving. Every setback, every rejection, every hard lesson is a piece of the foundation upon which your future success is built. The pain you feel in the moment may be real, but the strength you gain from it lasts a lifetime. Struggle isn't your enemy, it's your initiation. It's in the struggle that you learn discipline, you learn the value of persistence, you find out what it means to show up when it's hard, when no one's cheering you on, and when nothing seems to be going your way. That process builds character. It creates emotional muscle. It helps you develop grit, the ability to keep moving forward even when the circumstances scream for you to quit. And that grit becomes your superpower in life. Because while talent can give you a head start and luck can give you a break, it's grit that determines who finishes the race. Struggle also brings clarity. It strips away the non-essentials. When life gets difficult, you're forced to prioritize. You quickly find out what you really want, what you truly believe in, and what you're willing to fight for. That kind of clarity is invaluable because it aligns your actions with your purpose. It removes distraction and makes you more intentional. With every challenge you face and overcome, your confidence grows and your belief in your own ability expands. The most powerful thing struggle gives you, however, is identity. When you endure hardship and come out on the other side, you don't just change your circumstances, you change your story. You become the kind of person who doesn't back down, who rises in the face of difficulty, who refuses to be defined by external conditions. That identity becomes a source of strength because once you've conquered one mountain, you know you can climb others. So stop seeing struggle as a burden. Start seeing it as the gateway to your highest self. Because in the middle of the hardest moments, when everything inside of you wants to quit, if you choose to rise, that's when your transformation begins. That's when ordinary becomes extraordinary. And that's how legends are born. Most people wait for life to force them into growth. They wait for a crisis, a breakdown, a loss, something painful enough to finally push them out of their comfort zone. But the ones who truly excel, who rise above the rest, don't wait. They choose the harder path by design. They understand that real growth doesn't come from what's easy. It comes from intentionally stepping into the uncomfortable, the uncertain, and the difficult. Choosing growth over ease is about making a conscious decision to live at a higher standard, even when you don't have to. It's about building pressure on purpose to become someone stronger, sharper, and more capable. When you intentionally challenge yourself, you start to unlock parts of your mind and character that would otherwise stay dormant. You tap into drive, creativity, and resilience that aren't needed when everything is smooth. You train yourself to become adaptable, disciplined, and mentally tough. And the beauty of choosing hard things is that it rewires your relationship with discomfort. Instead of avoiding it, you begin to seek it, not because you enjoy pain, but because you've learned that pressure creates strength. You stop being afraid of the grind because you know what it leads to: transformation. This mindset changes everything. Instead of waking up and asking, what's the easiest path? You ask, what's the path that will make me better? You stop trying to protect your energy and start using it fully. You start pursuing challenges with purpose, whether that means waking up earlier, training harder, setting bolder goals, or putting yourself in rooms where you're the least experienced person. And with every step into discomfort, you build momentum. That momentum doesn't just help you grow, it makes you unstoppable. It becomes your identity. You no longer need life to get hard for you to evolve. You take ownership of your evolution. The truth is, choosing ease over growth might feel good temporarily, but it always leads to regret. Deep down, we all know when we're capable of more, and if you constantly play it safe, you never tap into your full potential. That's the pain most people live with. Not the pain of trying and failing, but the pain of never stepping up in the first place. But when you make growth a non-negotiable, when you choose the hard path daily, you live with pride. You look in the mirror and know you're becoming the person you were meant to be. So don't wait for life to get hard before you grow. Don't wait for a crisis to wake you up. Build your own storm. Challenge yourself when no one's watching. Demand more of yourself, not because you have to, but because you can. That's what separates the average from the elite. That's what keeps your edge sharp. And that's how you create a life of strength, purpose, and unshakable power. Growth isn't a reaction, it's a decision. Make it every day.